Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore again isolating y in an equation, meaning we want to move everything away from the y so that it creates a rule that we can use. Now, we do not have a note sheet for this as of right now. You can always check Google Classroom to see what's available, but I ask that you jot these little examples down in your notebook, please. All right, one of the reasons why we are exploring isolating y again is for this first step, and we haven't used this step yet. We're going to continue graphing lines using a table, but in order to use that table effectively, we need to isolate y first to create our rule. So in the future, we're going to tie this all together so there will be other videos. So let's take a look at this first example. Again, in your notes, just jot down this example. Our goal is to solve for y. So let's review. Remember, we're going to draw a line down the equal sign. It helps us stay organized. And our goal is to get y by itself. So the first thing we're going to do is I need to move this 4x. It's currently a positive 4x, so I'm going to minus 4x. The negative 2y falls down because I didn't use it. And on the right side, it gets a little messy. We're going to write it as 6 minus 4x. We can't put them together because they are unlike terms. Let's look at our next step. This says negative 2 times y. Well, we don't want to move the y, so instead of y times negative 2, we're going to divide by negative 2, and we're going to divide every piece by negative 2. So remember what we do to 1? We do to all. The y falls down because we didn't use it. Equals falls down. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2x. So we can divide and multiply unlike terms, but we cannot add or subtract unlike terms. So we reached our goal. The y is isolated. I can now see my rule that I'm going to use in my table. Let's go again on this example. Please make sure to write this in your notebook. The first thing I see is a negative or a subtract 2x. So I'm going to do the opposite and add 2x. I always say I'm kicking it to the other side. And how do I kick it over? Now here, be careful. There's a negative y left over. I have a 10 plus 2x on the right now. Now what number is technically in front of that y? A 1. So this reads as negative 1 times y since they're next to each other. So instead of times negative 1, we're going to divide every piece by negative 1. That's how I make it go away. The y falls down, the equals falls down. If I divide by a negative 1, I get a negative 10 and a negative 2. Y is by itself, and I now have my new rule. Let's take a look at this next one. It's a little different. It doesn't look the same, right? The first thing I see is parentheses. They're in the way, and if I can, I should always distribute first. So I'm not going to even talk about the left side yet. Let's just drop it down. But eliminate parentheses by distributing 2 times x, negative 10. Remember, when we distribute, we multiply. All right, now let's look at where the y is. It's over here, okay? Well, I want the y to be by itself. So instead of minus 4, let's add 4. Now, where do I write it on the right side? I can't add 4 to everything. I can only add 4 to my like term, which is right here. So on the left side, those are opposites. They go away. The y falls down. The 2x falls down, but I can only add 4 to the negative 10. So that gets me to a negative 6. So again, adding and subtracting only to the like term. Multiply and divide to everything. The y is by itself. I now know my new rule. Let's try one more. Again, jot this down in your notebook. Pause if you need to. I want to get y by itself. So instead of a subtract 3x, we're going to add 3x. The 6y falls down, falls down, and I have 12 plus 3x. Instead of y times 6, let's divide every piece by 6. The y falls down. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 3 doesn't divide by 6. Let's talk about that. 3 doesn't divide by 6, but it does go down. If I divide top and bottom by 3, I can get this down to 1/2. So I have a 1/2 x. So the x can be written on top of the fraction or off to the side, and I think we'll do a little better if we write it off to the side. If you were to write 0.5x, I'd be okay with that right now. In the future, it's going to be better to have 1/2 though. All right, now this is not a new topic. We have a video about isolating y in first semester, so we have done this before. So this was meant to be a review. Make sure you check Google Classroom to see what your task is about this topic. Let me know what questions you have, what you need, and until next time, have a good one.